Hello, I'm Camille King. I'm a triathlete. I'm also part of the XMiles team of ambassadors. I'm part of Team GB age group in triathlon, and recently I was really lucky to race the World Championships. The race was a few weeks ago in October. It took place in Almere in the Netherlands, which is a suburb of Amsterdam. It's an iron distance event, so the swim is 2.4 miles or 3.8k. The bike is 112 miles or 180k. And then the run's a marathon, so 42 kilometers or 26 miles. I had a great race, despite the challenge that I managed to break one of my toes 6 days before the race. So that was a little bit of a setback, and I couldn't really run on it. So I still decided to get to the Netherlands and see closer to the race how I would feel. It was only 6 days before, so it was a bit tight in terms of letting the bone heal. But I did a test run the day before the race, and I thought it'd probably be manageable. So off I went. I toed the start line, and I had a pretty good race considering. I had a good swim, even though the conditions were actually really hard and the water was choppy and it was windy, so no swim time were very fast. But I got around. I stayed away from the pack not to get my toe be bashed too much around by other athletes. And then the bike was beautiful. It was on the lovely Dutch dikes, overlooking the water, really pretty, very fast and flat course. And that went fine. And then the run was a little bit more difficult with the toe, but I managed to get around. It was 6 laps around the town of Almere. I finished third in my age group, which is a woman 40. I was very pleased with that. It took me 10 hours 10. I was only 16 seconds from silver and 77 seconds from gold. Who was another Team GB athlete who won the age group, Kim, so congrats to her. In terms of nutrition, so what did I do is on a race morning, I had a breakfast which was basically bread, so white bread. I try to stay away from all the whole meal type product on the morning of a race, so I don't get any tummy issues. And then I had peanut butter and honey on it, try and get as many calories as I could the morning before. I wasn't that hungry though, so I didn't have a very big portion because I was a bit stressed, I think, from the race to come. And it's quite early, like 4 a.m., so I wasn't very hungry. But I managed to swallow a little bit of that. And then I didn't have nothing just before the start. I just personally prefer not to. And then so I went into the swim, feeling not too hungry, but happy. Did not take anything, obviously, during the swim, nor in T1. I only started my nutrition about 20 minutes into the bike because you've been swimming horizontally for an amount of time. So when you go vertically straight up, and if you eat straight away, I think it can upset your stomach. So I stuck to that rule, and then I started having Cliff blocks, they're called. And so I had one about every 15 minutes or so. And that kept me going for like the first 3-4 hours on the bike. Quite nicely. And also I have some water in my water bottles, and I've added sodium to it, so I can get a good amount of salt when I'm working out and sweating. And then 3-4 hours after I started the ride, I did fancy some real food, not just the blocks, so I did have one of the energy bars which they were offering in the aid station, so I just grabbed one as I was cycling and had that filled me up for about half an hour. And then I went back. I felt like having the blocks again, and I went back onto my initial strategy of having blocks. Then I went into the run, and on the run I personally like to feed on gels only, and water and salt tablets. So I had some salt tablets from Precision Hydration, and the gels I were on offer during the race because I don't personally like to carry gels with me whilst I race. So I just had whatever was on offer, and I had quite a lot. I probably had 8 or 9 gels for the entire marathon. And then that was it. In terms of recovery, so I'm vegan, so I use the Unived Elite Recovery Mix. So I had that probably about half an hour after the race, because straight away I didn't really fancy having or drinking anything. But as soon as I felt up for it, I had a shake of that. And then I also, in the days following the race, had some Unived superfoods protein. That's always like a nice supplement to my diet. Especially as a vegan, it's a little bit difficult when you're traveling sometimes to cook your own food and all that. So I was happy to have that, so I could just top up my protein, which I was getting from just normal foods. My future plans. So I've got I am in Portugal 5 weeks after the race. So from after the Challenge Almere race, the World Championships. So it's a bit tight. So I've been focusing on eating well, sleeping well. The week after the race, I did very little training, just a little bit of easy swimming and very gentle spinning on the bike. Week 2, I slowly started building up a little bit longer session, but still the intensity was quite easy. And now I'm about 4 weeks after the race, and 3.5, and I'm feeling much better. I'm feeling a lot more recovered, and so I've added more intensity in my training, and still lots of healthy food and things like that. In addition to that, I'm a business owner, and I have a small company called Dare to Dream Fitness. And so I offer personal training from general fitness to weight loss to specific training for like events and in different sports. So if you ever need anything fitness related, please feel free to get in touch. Cheers! Bye!